Hey guys, it's me again. It's Damien from the Edible Online Marketing. Um, Real quick rundown. If you haven't seen any of my videos, my wife and I started a small candy company from our home. We have grown that into a cottage kitchen, and then we are now in a commercially licensed facility. What I am looking to do is to inform and educate people on selling online. If you have a food product, a recipe for anything that's edible. I teach you how you can start small and grow that business online, selling through platforms such as Etsy, Amazon, eBay, even, and then get into your own website. There is a lot of emails that I get every day from people asking questions in regards to how we do what we do and how we've grown. Real quick rundown just to give you some numbers. Since I've been on Etsy since 2012, at the end of 2011, but we really didn't start selling until 2012. We've have roughly 300 to 400 views a day on our products that we offer through Etsy. That's just Etsy alone. We have done quite a bit in sales. I don't necessarily want to get too much into numbers and figures, but to put it to you that we make a very good living doing what we do, and Etsy is a big part of that. What I've been able to do through Etsy is ship our products to about 15 countries, actually a little bit more than that by now, but 15 countries around the world, and we have done a lot of events. Weddings are a big part of what we do and the money that we make. And I will show you that it doesn't really matter what you make if it is an edible food product. I can show you how to package that and market it to an audience where you can get something like a wedding, corporate event, basically get some type of business entity or an event that can buy a large order from you of the product that you make. It really has to do with just packaging, marketing, and getting the price right. And it's not impossible. When we first started selling on Etsy, that was not something that I actually thought about until we actually got approached by a lot of people, specifically brides, that were looking to use our candy in weddings. And then it got me thinking, maybe we should try to think about a way that I can sell to weddings as well as bridal showers, parties, birthdays, anniversaries. Then every type of celebration and event came to mind. And I'm like, wait a minute, we could actually take what we make, and as long as we put it in a package that's kind of a party favor, I could sell several hundred to a couple thousand units to one individual. So, today I wanted to talk about Etsy. A lot of people get frustrated with not selling as fast as they want or selling as much of a product on Etsy as they want. Now, everything I'm going to tell you today, everything I'm going to talk about, and it's going to be a brief video. I don't like to bore people, and I don't want to ramble on about myself and all that. I simply give you the numbers of what I've done because I'm just letting you know that it's something you could do. No, I don't do it for any ego trip or anything, any of that sort of thing. I don't really need all that. So the numbers that I tell you, I disclose to you about Etsy or Amazon, again, it's just to let you know that it is possible and you can make a good living doing it. But you have to work at it, and it's not something where you can post a product, take a picture, put a price, and then wake up the next day and you've sold 5,000 units of that. That's not going to happen. That's not how it works. Selling online, selling on Etsy, selling on Amazon is something that you have to work at every single day. If you have a job and if you happen to want to transition your life into selling online and you think of Etsy or Amazon or people who sell online and work out of their home or work out of a commercial place is the way you want to go, great. Don't quit your day job just yet. I actually, when I opened my original store, I had a brick and mortar bakery. I actually worked still at night and then ran the company during the day. And we did that for about 2 years until we transitioned into an online business, which has been phenomenal. So the point of this video, again, is going to be about not getting as much sales as you may want to get. And I'm going to just try to explain something to you about when I first started selling on Etsy, the same thing happened, and we used to get a few sales here and there. But here's a trick. Once you open your store, and when I look over to the side here, I'm looking actually at my other computer. On Etsy, once you open a store, there are ways that you can promote your product within Etsy. Meaning that you don't have to have something like a social media, you don't have to have other exterior ways to promote it. Now, I personally have utilized Social media, I always talk about it on a lot of my videos. I highly recommend using it because it draws a tremendous amount of traffic for us. I would not solely rely on promoted listings, as it's called in Etsy. That should be a part of the mix of you promoting your product and promoting your shop. Don't rely 100% upon setting a daily budget, which you can do on Etsy, and I'll get into more detail about that. But you can set a budget, kind of an advertising budget, if you will, for your shop. And every day you can utilize that amount of money in promoted listings. That is good, but it's not going to be, don't think of it as your only source of traffic. You will get a lot of views and people viewing your products. Like I had mentioned earlier, I get about it averages since we've been open in 2012, I've averaged 300 to 400 views. Now, that sounds great. And the number is good. I mean, it's great to have that much views on the type of products that we sell, food products. But at the end of the day, views are not going to pay your bills. You're not going to make money with views. You want to sell a product, that's your goal. You're in a business, not to get recognition and get all of this celebrity or whatever it is that you think you're going to get out of people seeing you online. You want to make money. So if you had 1,000, if I had 3,000 views and I had 2 orders a day, I don't really care about those 3,000 views, and neither should you. To be quite honest with you, this is again my opinion, and I'm just going to tell you straight up. If I had 10,000 views and 5 orders, the business is not a business. You might as well be. It's a Pinterest page. It's a Facebook thing. You want to be in business to make money. So how do you change or how do you transition those views into making money? Well, number one, promoted listings is a great way to advertise on Etsy. You will get views of your products. The challenging thing is that there's certain type of categories, and this is from what I've noticed. There's certain types of businesses that sell certain products on Etsy that it's so saturated. It is unbelievably saturated with sellers who either make or sell, which Etsy you should be making the product. It's a handmade product website. But people who make necklaces, trinkets, you got to go for something that's really unique in order for you to sell like crazy on Etsy. The type of business that I'm in, it's in a food business, and we sell about 500 different types of candies, cake balls, cookies, buns. We package them differently. We offer subscription boxes where you can buy up front 6 months worth of candy, etc., etc. But the thing of it is that we constantly try to come up with something new or a new way to package, market, or basically take an old-fashioned cookie and dress it up, let's say, into something that's new or something different, a flavor people haven't heard of before. When it comes to selling a product like that, we get the promoted listings to give us views, which transitions into sales. But I also use all the social media outlets that you can think of, between everything from Facebook to Twitter to Pinterest to Tumblr, even Tumblr, Google Plus, and so on and so on. So what I look at is at the end of the day, I click over and look at my numbers and I see what is working with the promoted listings, because they can add up quick. And the difference between trying to promote a product by paying for it and then promoting a product that's on a social media site, I don't pay for those. The only thing that it costs is my time. I don't have a company that does automatic promotions on a social media page. I don't have that. I have to do that myself, and I do it every single day. And again, I don't tell you this, I'm not trying to toot my horn, I'm just telling you this is day in and day out. You want to grow the business, you got to put the time into it. It's not something magical where it's going to just wake up one day and you've got, like I said, 5,000 units sold, and then voila, all you have to do is take a photo and put a price up there and just cross your fingers. Crossing fingers aren't going to do it. I have actually created, for instance, on Pinterest, I have now, I think, 80 boards. I have created numerous boards on Pinterest for a specific reason. I know the demographic of my customer. I know my customer base are mostly women, and I know that a lot of women are interested in many different types of things. So I went to Pinterest and I created boards that are either related to fashion, that are related to jewelry, that are related to interest, types of boards that would create pins that women would be interested in. Think outside the box. You can come up with a million different things. But what I did was I was able to, in between all those other boards, put boards of products that have links to my Etsy shop. So what I did is you get a lot of women to begin to follow, for instance, many of my boards, and then they see, oh wow, check out this pen. It's got a delicious looking cake that I can send my relatives for the holidays. Or maybe something, I've got a wedding coming up. This guy actually does wedding favors. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm going to click on that pen. So they take a look at it, then they go right back to my Etsy shop. Then they end up spending money. Voila. It's kind of a simplistic concept, I guess you will. It's very easy to think of that because if you're able to attract the attention, then you need to direct that attention into where you are and what you're selling. And you don't necessarily have to do it with just the product line that you offer. You can do it with, like I said, many other things as far as it's an interest of the demographic that you're selling to. I hope that makes sense. So what I use is of course promoted listings. I max out my budget. My budget, and I think this varies. Mine has actually increased. My sales have increased, so the budget for my promoted listings has gone up. It's $11, about $11 a day. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but really quick rundown. When you go to the promoted listings on Etsy's website, you can click on the stats page, and you can check the stats for your promoted listing activity for today, yesterday, the month, the year, last month, this year, last year, and then all time. Basically, all of the accumulation for however many years you've been on Etsy. These are really great numbers, and it's very, very informative. So, excuse me. So I just clicked on to this month. So we are in March. Today is the 29th. Based on the information that I have here in front of me because of the promoted listings, for March I've spent around $98 worth of advertising in a month. That's generated close to $300 in revenue. Now, the information that this shows online, specifically on the promoted listings, that amount of revenue is directly associated with how much I've spent. That's not revenue for the month. We did about $2,000 or so for the month in sales on Etsy. But of that 2,000, about 300 of it was revenue that was generated from the promoted listings. I hope that makes sense. So basically, the amount of money I spent advertising on Etsy has generated $300, and it cost me almost about $100. So it made 40,000 impressions, and of the 40,000 impressions, we had over 500 clicks. Now, in my opinion, that's small. I would have rather had a lot more clicks in regards to how many impressions I had. But this is just a small example of what you can do with the numbers. Dig into them. Find out why it is that you've got 40,000 impressions and why did you only get 500 clicks. It will give you a breakdown day by day of how you, excuse me, of how your promoted listings worked and how well they worked. When you have it set to, they have a system where you can actually set an automatic bid. If you have an automatic bid system set up for your promoted listings, it will bid automatically to the maximum amount that you set for it. No, I apologize. My apologies. That's actually, when you do set it automatic, it will go to the automatic bid for that product to the maximum that it will determine for you. You can preset that as well. If you only want to spend a certain amount of money, you can spend a certain amount of money. Hold on one second. Let me get that phone.